Hello, I'm Joanna Connolly. I'm the editor of Real Estate Weekly and rew.ca. I'm here with Sasha Faris, who is the marketing director of Intergulf, and that is the company that is currently working on their latest multifamily residential project, Empire, which is based at Queen Elizabeth Park on Canby Street. So, Sasha, just first off, can you give us a little introduction to Empire in terms of its size, the location, and some of its features?
No, most definitely. I think with Empire, what we've really achieved here is kind of the blueprint for what's going to happen for the rest of the Canby corridor. Empire consisting of 3 buildings, one smaller boutique building in the middle, along with Building B and Building A in the most south and most north of the project, spanning about 120 feet each. The rationale behind this and the reason why this project came to be in the size with the 3 different size buildings was because the city didn't want some sort of curtain wall happening across the Canby corridor with this one long swooping building that wasn't going to be really aesthetically pleasing. So what we really tried to focus on was how can we make a building reflect on the neighborhood and make sure that everybody goes home happy and everybody's a winner. So what we decided to do is we followed the natural curvature of the Canby corridor, which running from 29th all the way up to 30th is just a natural formation of the Canby corridor running parallel to Queen Elizabeth Park. That's why you have these 3 stunning buildings at about 7 floors marketing each, spanning of 159 units, 8 of which are townhomes situated, what you can see here on the back of the project on a laneway for a transitional piece so that you don't have such a large condominium building overlying the houses and leaving such a large shadow on them.
And what about some of the features of the development?
The development features range from across all 3 buildings, as a matter of fact, whether it's the greenscapes in between the buildings that we've made sure to kind of give the serene feel of a park lifestyle, having Queen Elizabeth Park beside it. The actual building features itself is an amenity room, media room as well too. There's a rooftop deck as well too for people to overlook, which is really nice because there are some views that are unlocked, as I like to say, from this project, as many of the homes in the area were only maybe 1 story, 2 at most, rancher-styled homes. So you do get some quite stunning views of the downtown core, which is relatively unheard of in this neighborhood. Other features definitely include within the units high-end finishings, appliances as well, an appliance package of Melee. Everything being Melee except for the likes of the Panasonic inverter microwave, which is still very high-end as well too, that accompanies the appliance package. The interiors were done by BYU, which is Bob your uncle, which is a local designer that's incredibly renowned within the development community. We're really happy with what they designed because given that the tone of this project was something that we wanted to pay homage to, you know, the park being beside us and really giving that classy feature, as this is a west side address. And you know, we didn't want it to be too unachievable because we knew we were going to be targeting downsizers, but the features within it, I think, definitely complement this project to its utmost capability. And I think we've seen a great sense of acceptance from our buyer, which is what we really strive for.
So, Sasha, you mentioned that there are these 3 different buildings there, and you wanted to fit in with the vernacular of the local area. But presumably there was something that was dictated to you as well in terms of the size of the site that you had and also the zoning. So, can you explain a little bit more about the story behind that? Oh,
most definitely. The kind of the way the Empire came to conception and the reason why this is what you see is going to be our finished product once it's completed. The city definitely had a play in it, but we were able to work with them really well to kind of get a project and a look that would be aesthetically pleasing, something the community would like, and that ultimately we would be able to build it. It would make sense for us and also for the city planners to be happy as well too. So the zoning behind this is actually quite interesting. What we like to call and what is called actually the Canby Heritage Boulevard, spanning from just at the beginning of Queen Elizabeth Park and working its way down almost all the way to Oak Ridge on Canby Street. There was rezoning already done for this entire area to allow for such buildings to be built and such attached multi-unit dwellings to be constructed. One thing that's very interesting for us is that there might have only been one smaller project before us, so we were really testing the waters with this project, really what we could achieve. So when I said before, just to reiterate what I said, that this kind of being the blueprint for this area, I think we really set the precedent for what this neighborhood has more to offer and more to come, and I think we're going to be a real hard act to follow as well too with this project. It did consist of 3 buildings with a break in the part because the city didn't want to see a building that was completely connected together. We only were allowed to go to about 7 stories as well too, because of the fact that this is a predominantly a single home neighborhood. So this is very new for this neighborhood, seeing this type of product. So we're really happy to be one of the first ones, and actually we are the first to be delivering a project like this of this magnitude and this many units as well.
Great. And can you talk more about Empire's connection to the local area and the story behind that?
Definitely. Well, as you know, marketing being my background for this, the idea that I came up with is, well, we don't want it to just be another project, and especially being the first one, we want this to be a landmark. And what better landmark to pay homage to than our neighbor, the Queen Elizabeth Park, which I think is going through a revitalization process, and we're pretty much full a part of that. As you can tell from the name, it being Empire, it's kind of paying homage to, you know, Queen Elizabeth, the park in particular, and the fact that we're a Commonwealth country. So kind of it was a play off of that. But we didn't want to have that starkness and that rigidness of the old Empire. We wanted to kind of put a bit of a twist. So that's why we took the Queen's Rose, which you'll find in all of any park that's dedicated to the United Kingdom, will actually have the Queen's Rose, which is the pink rose. So we kind of took that hint of pink and we splattered it all over our marketing material to kind of give it that softness, but it still has that powerful feeling and presence that the project brings. So the connection to the park is one of our biggest assets, and really making sure that we're protecting this asset and that we really want to be a part of helping, you know, put forth what, you know, as a Vancouverite, as BC, or what Canada has to offer, and that's, you know, great urban outdoor amenities such as parks. Within that park, actually, as a matter of fact, is the Blodell Conservatory, which is going through a reconstruction process that we're actually a part of, that we've donated to help with the reconstruction process and the revitalization. Along with that as well too, there's an amazing restaurant, Seasons, which is within the park. Stunning views, kind of the same ones that you're going to have from your units at Empire. Along with that, there's actually a pitch and putt as well too for the more active, and then also just a walking trail throughout the entire park, which is really nice.